This is Tee to Green, Central Ohio's premier golf show. Now here's your host, recipient of the Lifetime Achievement Award by the Southern Ohio PGA of America and Hall of Fame, the Fan's own Skip Mosick.
And hi again, everybody. Good morning. Welcome into another edition of Tee to Green here on the Fan. Another very busy week in the golf world as the PGA Tour playoffs continue. We'll head to Maryland and check in at the BMW Championship with SI.com's Bob Harig. The Ohio State Scarlet Course will host the annual Nationwide Children's Championship next month. Playoff events on the Corn Ferry Tour. Former Buckeye Neil Shipley, who officially secured his PGA Tour card for the 2026 season earlier this week, is expected to play. We will hear from Shipley later this hour. And as always, we have another great golf prize package to give away. Details on that shortly. But as mentioned, the BMW Championship is this week outside of Baltimore and benefits the Evans Caddy Scholarship. Joe Murray is the state chair for Ohio of the Western Golf Association and Evans Scholars Foundation. He joins us now. And Joe, I know this is such a huge week for what you all do. Tell us about the Evans Caddy Scholarship, something that's been around for a long time that some folks may still be unaware of.
Yeah, Skip, first of all, thanks for having me. I'm thrilled to participate and thrilled to speak about the Evans Scholarship. The Evans Scholarship has been around for a long time. It's been around for nearly 100 years, and still it is too much of a secret. We want as many folks to learn about this as is possible because, I can confidently say that I think it's the premier scholarship that's available for young people to get an education in the United States. It's a 4-year, full tuition, full housing scholarship that students are eligible to take to one of 29 universities. The 3 universities in Ohio are Ohio State, Miami, and John Carroll. The amazing thing is, as you said, it is a bit of a secret because, last year we had only about 85 applicants for the scholarship, and there were 27 or 28 young men and women who were awarded the scholarship. So it's a terrific scholarship that we just want more people to learn about. The 2 keys to the scholarship, Skip, are that you have to caddy. You have to caddy for at least 2 years, okay, and you have to have demonstrable financial need. But the young men and women that, work in the caddy yards across Ohio and frankly across the United States, they just learn a ton. And if they can get on the Evans Scholarship pathway, it really is a life-changing pathway for them.
Joe, I know scholarships are awarded in a number of different cities each year. How many generally are awarded to kids here in Columbus and Central Ohio?
Well, I have to brag a little bit because I'm a member at SIOTA, and last year we had 5 young men and women who were awarded the scholarship. That's the most that SIOTA has ever had. Last year, I think there were approximately 27 kids statewide who were awarded the scholarship. But we have about 60 to 65 Evans Scholars at Miami, approximately the same number here at Ohio State, and next year will be our first year in partnership with John Carroll. That program will start a little bit smaller. But interestingly, Skip, Ohio is what I call a net importer of kids because we need to do a better job of doing what you're doing here today, and that's helping put the word out about this scholarship because some of those beds at Ohio State and Miami are actually filled by young men and women from other states. And, of course, they're terrific kids and qualifying kids, but we'd love to see more Ohio kids learn about the opportunities that exist in the caddy yards across Ohio, and then, of course, the Evans Scholarship pathway.
Joe, you mentioned the number of caddies there at SIOTA that received scholarships this past year. Is that number growing? I mean, I remember back when I caddied at Columbus Country Club some 45, 50 years ago, that number was much smaller. Is it bigger now?
Yeah, it's definitely growing. There's been a resurgence in golf, but I also think as more people learn about the scholarship and the values of the scholarship, we're really attracting interest from a lot of clubs to encourage golfers to walk and encourage them to take a caddy. Taking a caddy is a great way to play the game, but it's also a great way to help elevate a young person. And so there definitely is growth not just here in Central Ohio, but also in Cincinnati and Dayton and Toledo and Cleveland in terms of attracting young people to the caddy opportunity.
We're chatting with Joe Murray this morning, Tee to Green here on the Fan. Joe, State Chair for Ohio of the Western Golf Association and Evans Scholars Foundation. And Joe, there are other clubs around town besides Scioto that offer caddy services to their members. What's the best way to inquire as far as parents listening if they have high school kids? Simply call the golf shop? What's the best way to inquire about becoming a caddy?
Yeah, great question. I think that the 4 clubs in Columbus with the strongest caddy programs currently are Scioto Country Club, Brookside Country Club, Muirfield Village, and the Golf Club. All of those clubs have strong caddy programs, and frankly, each of them is growing the youth element in their caddy programs. So I think the best way for anybody to get involved is to reach out. You can just call the general number at any one of those clubs, ask to speak to somebody in the pro shop. Each of those clubs has a designated caddy manager, and that's the person that parents and young people need to be speaking with about this opportunity.
Well, Joe, you guys can't do what you do and offer all of these scholarships without finances. The Western Golf Association is involved with many championships, with the biggest being this week's BMW, part of the PGA Tour's playoffs. How much money is raised from this championship alone?
Yeah, this is the signature event for the Western Golf Association, which administers the Evans Scholarship Program. I don't know the exact number, Skip, but this is a primary fundraiser for the scholarship. It is literally drives millions of dollars towards this charity. And we also have lots of other programs for fundraising. One of the greatest ways that folks can participate is through what's called the Par Club program, and you can enter that program whether you're a member of a private club or not, by simply making a $250 a year donation to the Evans Scholarship Program. That program goes a long way towards raising the necessary funds to send these young people to college. Skip, currently, the Evans Scholarship sends nearly 1,200 kids to college on a full tuition, full housing scholarship each year. Wow. So it really is making a massive impact on providing, young people who are hardworking and have financial need with a pathway to improve their lives.
This event was in Chicago for many years. It's kind of interesting that this championship, it's now rare in that it moves around to different venues each year. Is that important, I guess, just for awareness?
It is. It is important for awareness. The Evans Scholarship originated out of Chicago, and its deepest roots are, of course, there. But the BMW Championship has begun to move around recently, right? It's been in Denver. I believe it's been in St. Louis this year. It is at Caves Valley in Baltimore. And, the movement of that event, also parallels the growth of the Evans Scholarship. Again, it started, in Chicago, but it's grown, from the original Big Ten schools to well beyond those schools. It's now at the University of Maryland. We're beginning now at the University of South Carolina. It also extends as far west as Washington and Oregon. So you're definitely going to see that event move around. And you're also going to see the growth of the Evans Scholarship around the country. I think this is a really great scholarship because it's, the more people learn about it, the more they appreciate it and respect it and want to support it.
Well, this is such a great event, and for parents out there to take note of what's available with the Evans Scholar Foundation. Joe, real quick, back to Scioto. We spoke with your pro, Joe Filardo, a couple of weeks ago. How excited is the membership there about hosting next year's U.S. Senior Open?
There's a tremendous amount of excitement around that event. We were fortunate enough to host that event in 2016, and we're even more excited to host it next year. Skip, it's no secret that next year is a special year for that event because there's a person named Tiger Woods who will be eligible to participate. Tiger obviously has an amazing record of accomplishment. We're super hopeful that Tiger will compete in that event. I know that USGA events are important to him, and to have that be his first eligible senior championship really is going to put a great stamp on that event for us. So we're very excited about that event and can't wait to host a spectacular field, and hopefully that includes Tiger Woods.
I always love to talk course design. How would you describe, the latest restoration there at Scioto with, the goal of getting back to the original Ross design?
It's funny, Skip. I had the opportunity to host some folks yesterday at Toyota who had played under the previous design, and they were immediately thrilled by the experience because the golf course, it's the same routing, but as many of the original Donald Ross features have been reinstated, and it's dramatically different than it was before. I think it's equally hard, but it is significantly more fun. There's just a lot more opportunities to hit different kinds of shots as you approach the greens. I had the fortune of walking around the golf course with some members of the USGA leadership shortly after the golf course reopened, and it was neat to see these men who were responsible for running all of the USGA championships and see their reactions to the ways in which the golf course had changed and improved, and they were super excited to see all the different shot varieties that now exist at Toyota, and I think that's going to be the same reaction that the spectacular field at the U.S. Senior Open will have next year.
Looking forward to that. Again, back to the gist of this week, Joe. I know it's a big one for your organization. If people have any questions, if parents listening have any questions, they have high school kids that want more information on the Evans Scholars Foundation, best place to go get more information before they call the golf clubs?
Yeah, the best place to get more information is, of course, the website. The site is WGAESF.org. WGAESF.org. Lots of great information there on that website. Also ways that you can inquire from the Western Golf Association through the website to get more information.
Joe Murray, State Chair for Ohio of the Western Golf Association and Evans Scholars Foundation. Joe, we know this is a busy week for you and your organization. Thank you for what you do. Go raise a lot of money this weekend, okay?
Kip, thanks for having me. I really appreciate the opportunity.
All right, let's check your leaderboards now at the BMW as well as the other tours as we get you warmed up with some chip shots.
97.1 The Fan's Tee to Green Chip Shots, presented by BMI Federal Credit Union.
Caves Valley Golf Club, the site of this week's BMW second leg of the PGA Tour playoffs. Robert McIntyre, 62-64 the first 2 days to get it to 14 under par and a 5-shot lead. Bobby Mack saying the putter and wedges have really been working.
Yes, Skip.
I've played beautifully the last 2 days. Yesterday, the putter was on fire. Today, I feel that my iron play was exceptional. But I've been putting in the work the last couple of weeks to make it, to improve on what I was doing since the Wyndham. Obviously, coming from links golf back out to throwing darts is a bit different, technique-wise, turf-wise. So it took a little bit of readjusting, but we've got the hang of it.
5 back of McIntyre and alone in second is Scotty Scheffler, a bogey-free 65 Friday for Scheffler, who knew he would need to play well to stay in it.
I mean, I would have liked to have gotten a couple better looks down the stretch, but didn't hit as many fairways last few holes. And out here with the way the holes are shaped, you got to be in play. And typically around a normal tournament, the earlier you go in the day, the easier it's going to be. Yesterday with the course playing firm, and then all of a sudden we get to our 15th hole, and a big rainstorm comes in and softens the whole thing up. You knew for the guys in the afternoon it was going to play a bit easier, and so I knew kind of going into today that I was going to be fighting a little bit of an uphill battle, and did a good job of kind of hanging in there and staying in the tournament.
Alone in third at -8 is Ludwig Oberg, 64 on Friday for Oberg, who knows keeping it in the fairway at Caves Valley is a premium.
Yeah, it was nice. Obviously, it becomes a lot easier when you hit the fairways, which I did on the back nine, except for number 12. And the greens are still, fairly receptive from the rain we got yesterday, so it can be quite aggressive coming into some of these greens. And but overall, pleased with the way I played. Pleased with the way I was sort of controlling the ball flights, which was really nice to see, and it was nice to roll in a few putts on the back nine as well.
Again, all chasing Robert McIntyre at 14 under par. McIntyre leads by 5, top 30 in the points, advance to the Tour Championship coming up next week. Elsewhere, Korn Ferry Tour is in Boise. Philip Knowles, -13, leads by 1. Former Buckeye Neil Shipley, who we'll hear from later, 3 back at -10. Shipley tied for 5th. Champions Tour is in Calgary. Stephen Alker and Miguel Angel Jimenez are at -7. They lead by 1. World Tour in Denmark. Marco Penge and Rasmus Højgaard -12. They are your co-leaders. They lead by 3. LPGA in Portland, John Gwynn Lee, minus 12. She's your leader there by 1. And we're down to the semifinals of the U.S. Amateur out west at Olympic Club. Your leaderboards are brought to you by BMI Federal Credit Union. Visit them today at bmifcu.org. Coming up, is U.S. Ryder Cup captain Keegan Bradley in a no-win situation if he picks himself or not if the U.S. doesn't win next month at Bethpage? We'll talk about that and more with SI.com's Bob Harig as Tee to Green continues here on The Fan.
Tweet from a listener. Are you carrying the Buckeye game today? Considering we've never not carried one, yes. The answer is yes. The Fan.
Score a hole-in-one when you get a Visa Platinum or Visa with Rewards credit card from BMI Federal Credit Union, your CBUS Top Picks Best Credit Union for the past 7 years in a row. Enjoy credit card rates lower than the national average and special rates on balance transfers when you get a Visa Platinum or Visa with Rewards credit card. For more details, visit bmifcu.org/visa.
Are you looking for the best golfing experience in Central Ohio? Then look no further than the Virtues Golf Club in Nashport. The Virtues Golf Club was voted as the #1 public golf course in Ohio, and Golf Digest ranked Virtues as the 65th ranked public course in the country. Now offering on-site housing, the Virtues Golf Club is a modern design course mixed with classic features you'll love. Come see what's new and take in the scenery at Ohio's best public golf course. For more information, visit thevirtuesgolfclub.com.
2 years ago, Bobby Carpenter completed treatments for knee pain at QC Kinetics. So we're checking in with the former college and pro football player to see how he's doing.
I've been asked a lot, like, how long does this last? How long does it work? I go, I've had mine for a couple years, and everything feels very good. It feels just as good as it did when I started to turn the corner.
Bobby's an active husband, dad, and business owner. That's why 2 years ago, he heard about QC Kinetics, the nation's leader in regenerative treatments, and he knew he could trust them for his chronic knee pain.
And thankfully with QC Kinetics, I was able to go through this, and my activities are the same as it was. I'm able to coach my kids in sports. I can play golf. I can go run.
QC Kinetics patients like Bobby don't miss a beat. No surgery or rehab, just freedom from debilitating joint pain. Ready for lasting relief from joint pain? Call QC Kinetics today for your complimentary consultation and see if you're a good candidate.
Call QC Kinetics, 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544. 380-208-4544.
If only there was a radio show that constantly talked about Ohio State athletics. Well, good news. It's real, baby. The Buckeye Show.
Weeknights at 6.
Proud to be your flagship home of the Buckeyes. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
The dog days are the best days to save at Coughlin Ford. Lease a new 25 Ford Escape or Bronco Sport. Just $399 a month with 0 down. New 25 F-150 or Lightning Flash. Only $499 a month with 0 down. Visit our newest location in Marysville or CoughlinFord.com.
Coughlin has the car for you.
48-month lease, all factory rebates to dealer. All prior sales excluded. In-stock units only. 7,500 miles per year, 25 cents per mile. Excludes $387 down pay, $395 disposition fee and lease in. No security deposit. See dealer for details. Ends 9/2/25.
My house has a new glow. I love my windows. Universal Windows Direct.
Choose from payments as low as $99 a month or 12 months with no payments and no interest, plus a free in-home window and energy assessment. Restrictions apply. Give them a call, 614-502-5220.
I love my windows. They've got that brand new home effect. Universal Windows Direct.
Burnt out, foggy, running on caffeine and willpower? It's time for a reset. Hydrate Me Med Spa brings next-level wellness to Central Ohio with medical-grade IV drips, NAD Plus for brain and energy support, and ozone therapy to detox at the cellular level. This isn't just self-care, it's a system upgrade. Feel sharper, sleep deeper, perform better. Now open in Dublin, Grandview, New Albany, and Granville. Book your drip at hydratememedspa.com.
We can come the day you call us.
We're 1-800-GOT-JUNK.
We make junk disappear. All you have to do is point.
Brian, I've been meaning to ask you something.
Okay, ask away.
Sometimes when we're talking, I hear a little sparkling sound.
Is it when one of us says, all you have to do is point?
There it is. Did you hear that?
That's the sound of magic happening.
Magic? Like we can come the day you call us? Wow. Wow.
Call 1-800-GOT-JUNK or visit 1-800-GOT-JUNK.com.
Now eligible for the senior tees. You're listening to Tee to Green with Skip Mossick, the Fan, Ohio sports destination.
And welcome back, everybody. As always, thank you for tuning in. We have another great golf prize package to give away this week. We have golf for you to go play out at the Virtues, a gift card to check out the Fairway Columbus on Henderson Road in Upper Arlington. New location opening soon in Lewis Center. We'll tell you about that coming up in just a bit. Balls from our friends at Titleist. Plenty of fan goodies we're throwing there for you this week as well. So stay tuned. We'll have details on this week's giveaway shortly and your chance to make this great golf prize package yours.
This is Backspin. Tee to Green Backspin.
As we head back to this week's tour stop in Maryland, joined for a few minutes by longtime golf writer from SI.com, Bob Harig. And Bob, second leg of the PGA Tour playoffs with the BMW. After all these years, are you a fan of what the Tour has tried to do with these playoffs, specifically going into next week's Tour Championship?
I'm a fan of what they've tried to do. I'm not necessarily a fan of what they've done or what they are doing. I mean, I think there's a difference. I mean, doing this it was smart. 20 years ago plus, before they started doing this, the tour season just kind of, it just sort of limped along after the PGA Championship. There was no purpose to it. There was a bunch of tournaments for a couple of months. And it concluded with a kind of a sleepy tour championship in early November that guys like Tiger and Phil started skipping. It wasn't important enough. It just didn't matter that much. You could win the money title without being at the tour championship, which was, maybe the reason you'd want to do it. But, and so they came up with this concept of these playoff events, which is great. I mean, it's brought all these guys together at the end of the year. For the most part, we've had we have really good fields and good tournaments. But of course, the idea of playoffs in golf and not people really not being eliminated, and that kind of hangs over it. And either you have to call it something else, or you've got to come up with a system that creates a little bit of risk from playoff event to playoff event, and I think that would make it a little bit more compelling. This week there's not a whole lot on the line for guys, but yet by the same token, it's a good tournament, and somebody's going to win the tournament and get a nice trophy, and then a handful of guys who weren't sure are going to get in the Tour Championship next week, which of course is prestigious in its own right. So I just think they could improve it, and I wish they would take a real hard look at it, because they are in a transition right now. They got rid of that starting strokes thing at the Tour Championship, which I think was smart. I was willing to give that a go. It just didn't work. I mean, I think we talked about it too much. There was too much negativity. So they've changed it, and that's good this year. Next week, it's a regular tournament, and there's nothing wrong with that. The problem is that there's really, you could have had 10, 15 guys who didn't play in either of the first two playoff events and would have got to Atlanta. And I'm not sure that's the right way to do it.
SI.com's Bob Harig joins us this morning, Tee to Green here on The Fan. And Bob, one of the bigger stories throughout the summer continues to center around Ryder Cup captain Keegan Bradley, and if he'll be selecting himself to the team. It's almost like he's in a no-win situation to be second-guessed no matter what he does if the U.S. doesn't win. But it was interesting to hear some of the players this week when asked about if they would pick him if they were captain. Almost all said yes. I mean, what do you think he either will or should do?
Yeah, this is really tough, because the problem is you almost wish that it was easy for him to not pick himself, that there were so many good options that, he could just sit out. But if he's one of the 12 best, do you not have him play? Over what I think most of us feel is something that has been hyped into into a task much more made to be much more difficult than it is. And I say it this way: there is a good chance, a very, very good chance, that Keegan and his assistant captains already know the majority of the first day lineup. You know, they've been thinking about this for months. They've been thinking about pairings and analytics and who plays well together. And, you know, maybe obviously there's 8 matches the first day. They might not have them all because they don't know exactly who's all going to be on the team, but they might have 6 of the 8. Like, beyond that, what else does he have to do? You know, I mean, yeah, he's got to give an opening ceremony speech, and he's got to talk to the team, and they've got to be prepared to be a little bit nimble if something goes wrong, if somebody's not playing very well, which is why you have assistants. I mean, Jim Furyk is his lead assistant, really, and Furyk was just the President's Cup captain last year. He knows at least half the team or more. You know, he was also a Ryder Cup captain before. He's been an assistant captain for both numerous times. I don't think this is, you know, this isn't, you know, Bill Belichick or, you know, somebody calling plays on the sideline.
Right.
It's just not, you know. So when you look at it that way, to me, it's like I think we make too much out of it. I mean, Roy was saying that the other day. Oh, there's too much stuff going on, but I think Roy made too much out of it. You know, the first day, most times the captains have a lineup for the entire day decided in advance. You know, they've got their first morning session, and then they know what they're going to do in the afternoon. They're not waiting to see. Not very often do they deviate from that. So if Keegan is playing in either session, why is that a problem? You know, Scotty Scheffler doesn't need Keegan to hold his hand while he's playing out there. You know, I know that a captain can give advice. Well, obviously they're going to let somebody else give advice. Jim Furyk can stand out there and tell them what everybody else has been hitting on a par 3. You know, so I'm one who's always felt that too much is made of all that. But the fact is, there is a lot, and if it's too overwhelming for him, then he probably shouldn't play. You know, so and I keep going back to if you look at the points leaders, obviously it's going to be decided Sunday who the top 6 are, and then 7 and 8 are Justin Thomas and Morikawa, who I'm pretty confident are going to be on the team, even though Morikawa's not having a great year and he's not having a great tournament. But if you go with that, you've got 4 more spots, but you've got 8 or 9 guys in line for them. And I'm sitting here telling you, I can't tell you, you absolutely have to have any one of them.
Sure.
So, and Keegan's in that mix. So that's the dilemma. I think behind the scenes, they've been thinking about who works with who. And, you know, like Cantley's a guy who's been off this year. Cantley's never lost in singles in the President's Cup or the Ryder Cup. He was pretty good for the U.S. 2 years ago when the U.S. was overall pretty bad. You know, he was 3-1 at the President's Cup. He's had a winning record in every cup competition he's played in, except the Ryder Cup 2 years ago when he was 2-2. So, you know, are you going to? And again, it's 6 weeks away. Like, form is fleeting. Like, to base anything on how somebody's playing right now is really tough because there's no guarantee they're going to be good then or bad either way.
Well, Bob, last thing. We always like to get you on this week with the BMW Championship, which benefits the Evans Scholar Foundation. You're a former Evans Scholar yourself, Bob. Let everybody know the benefits of this scholarship that many still don't know a lot about that can really be life-changing for high school kids and their families if they're fortunate enough to earn it.
Yeah, no, it's a great program. Obviously, I'm biased. I was an Evans Scholar back in the day, and you know, this tournament is one of their big fundraisers. It makes you know, many millions for the foundation, which of course, when they're trying to put roughly 1,000 kids through college every year, you can imagine the expense, you know. You know, yeah, I mean, for me, it was life-changing, obviously. I don't know how things would have been different. I was still going to go to college. But, you know, not having to pay for tuition for 4 years set me on a better path. It certainly helped out my parents. And, yeah, I made lifelong friends. I was exposed to golf even more. You know, I caddied for 10 years at a local country club where I grew up and you know, made a lot of relationships through that I still have today. So, you know, it's an amazing program, and they've done a great job of growing it, weathering a lot of financial tough times, through some bad economies, raising money, and actually growing the program. I mean, they own chapter houses at, I want to say now, it was 14 back when I was in school, but now it's around 20.
Right.
You know, I mean, and, you know, a house, you know, imagine the expense. They owned them, millions of dollars in property that they own, and then tuition. And it's just an impressive program that they've put together, and leadership that's managed to raise that kind of money. You know, it's, I encourage anyone, especially, you know, in the Midwest, it's a very, very big program. Caddy programs are still thriving despite the fact that, you know, the golf cart is such a revenue producer for clubs. You know, the clubs that still have caddies, you know, you really got to hand it to them for recognizing a bigger picture.
Bob Harig, again, thank you so much for joining us throughout the spring and summer months. We always appreciate your time and your insight. We'll keep following you at SI.com. Safe travels, okay?
Thanks so much. Appreciate you having me.
All right, let's go ahead and give away this week's golf prize package. Caller 9 right now, 614-821-9710, 614-821-9710. If you or any member of your household have not won in the past 60 days, caller 9 will get golf at the Virtues, balls from Titleist, a gift card to the Fairway Columbus, fan goodies, and more. Caller 9, if you or any member of your household have not won in the past 60 days. Coming up, speaking of the Fairway Columbus, they're about ready to open a brand new location up in Lewis Center. We'll tell you about that with Scott Stender of the Fairway next as Tee to Green continues here on The Fan.
Want to know anything about the Fans contest, how to win, or what's up for grabs? Check out 971thefan.com. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Looking to up your golf game this summer? Swing into the Fairway, Columbus' premier indoor golf facility, featuring state-of-the-art TrackMan simulators, a spacious clubhouse vibe, and world-class service. It's the perfect place to play, train, or host your next event. Choose from over 350 courses worldwide, or fine-tune your swing with TrackMan's advanced range options, the same tech the pros use. Located in Upper Arlington, skip the long drive and grab a summer range pass today. The Fairway, golf elevated.
The summer event is still on at Germain Honda of Dublin, and with football back, Rich is ready to dominate the competition. You can lease the sleek 2025 Honda Accord LX for as low as $249 a month or finance with 3.99% APR. Upgrade to adventure with the 25 Honda Pilot Sport all-wheel drive. Lease starting at $429 per month or 4.49% APR. Visit Germain Honda of Dublin on Sawmill Road, just south of 270. See dealer for full details.
Working your way through that honey-do list? That means more flushes, more showers, more fiddling with the thermostat. Trust the pros at the Waterworks with your plumbing and drain cleanings and repairs and all your heating and cooling needs. Our certified pros can repair or replace your furnace or air conditioner. Clogs? Call the Waterworks. Drain cleaning? Call the Waterworks. Plumbing issues? Call the Waterworks. Furnace repairs? Call the Waterworks. The Waterworks. Trusted neighborhood plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling experts.
Keep your summer fun going in a new Toyota RAV4, America's best-selling SUV. Now through September 2nd, get 4.99 APR financing on a new 25 RAV4 or 5.99 on RAV4 Hybrid, excludes plug-ins, or lease a gas-powered RAV4 LE for $309 a month for 36 months with $36.99 due at signing. With approved credit through TFS, tax, title, and license extra. Call 1-888-36-TOYOTA for details or go to toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Attack and dominate. Morning Juice is on YouTube and 10 TV Plus.
Sponsored by Riverside Bank of Dublin.
Join Bobby Carpenter and Tito weekdays starting at 6 or watch on demand. More Bobby, less commercials. The Fan.
Central Ohio contractors and homeowners, tired of overpriced, low-quality cabinets? Well, it's time to upgrade your cabinet game. 3D Cabinetry is your go-to for fast, hassle-free service and cabinets you can trust from order to install. 3D Cabinetry delivers fully assembled all-wood affordable cabinets. No delays, no stress. Just quality craftsmanship delivered on time every time. Get started with your free consultation today at 3dcabinetry.net. That's 3dcabinetry.net, where quality meets affordability and reliability.
Dear McDonald's, your breakfast menu? Fire. 10s across the board. I could be happy with anything, even though I order the same thing every time. Thanks for not judging me. I'll try something new next time. Maybe.
For a limited time, you can enjoy a savory sausage McMuffin with egg meal, including golden hash browns and a small hot coffee for just $5. Price and participation may vary.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
The Ohio Lottery's Powerball jackpot has soared to $565 million. That's $565 million. Imagine what you could do with a win that big. With drawings every Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday, Powerball jackpots grow faster, and they're bigger than ever. Play today.
Check it.
And don't forget to pick up a cash word scratch-off while you're at it to extend the fun. With tickets from $2 to $30, there's a cash word for everyone. Visit your favorite retailer today. Lottery players are subject to Ohio Laws and Commission regulations. Play responsibly.
And we're back talking all things connectivity with Spectrum customers Kev and Melissa. So tell us, how long have you been with Spectrum, and how important is a reliable internet connection?
We've been Spectrum customers since we moved 12 years ago. The first thing we did is sign up for Spectrum Internet.
You get a lease, you get Wi-Fi.
Yes,
immediately.
We need that. We had Spectrum Wi-Fi before our couch got here.
That's true. That's a true story.
I'll sleep on the floor, but I won't go to bed with no internet.
You heard it here. Switch to Spectrum now.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Hey there, Central Ohio. Hope you're ready for a hot weekend forecast. Back to the low 90s and mostly sunny Saturday afternoon. A few scattered showers and storms could be possible. Chances increasing Saturday night into Sunday. Sunday also having a few scattered showers and storms. Temperatures in the low 90s. 90s will continue into next week before more rain returns by Tuesday. That's your latest 10 weather impact forecast. I'm meteorologist Michael Behrens on 97.1 The Fan.
Back to Central Ohio's premier golf show with Skip Mossick. This is Tee to Green on Sports Radio 97.1 The Fan.
Welcome back, everybody. As always, thank you for tuning in. Congratulations to Jeff from Dublin. Jeff was caller 9, picks up golf at the Virtues. Balls from Titleist, a gift card to the Fairway, Columbus, fan goodies, and more. We'll have one final giveaway for you coming up next week. All right, favorite part of the show, let's hit the range.
You are listening to Tee to Green's On the Range.
On the Range is brought to you by the Fairway Columbus, and let's head there now as we're joined by Scott Stender of the Fairway. And Scott, we've been telling people all year, you have such a cool place, so much more than just a room with simulators. Let everybody know what makes the Fairway really stand out from other indoor golf centers.
Yeah, so the Fairway Columbus that we have in Upper Arlington has 7 TrackMan-driven simulators. You know, the experience beyond just providing the best tech you can buy from a launch monitor perspective. It's really set apart by, you know, the experience that our staff offers, right? So, you know, we have a full bar. We're about to announce a potential new partnership for a new food vendor in the facility, and really looking forward to the indoor golf season, you know, coming soon, and look forward to have everyone there.
Well, Scott, you mentioned TrackMan, and it's pretty incredible how TrackMan has really improved over the years, and, you know, how it's changed for venues like the Fairway. I mean, your guys were out at the Fan Golf outing a couple of weeks ago. Loved to guess your swing speed out there. I know everybody tried to get to 97.1 miles per hour. Nobody was even really close. What do your customers like most about that TrackMan technology?
Yeah, I would say first and foremost, it's the accuracy, right? It's trusted by the pros on tour, so, you know, anyone coming off the street that wants to better understand their numbers behind their swing, you know, you're using the same tech they're using. But beyond that, right, like, you have access to over 350 courses that you can play, which include, you know, Murrayfield Village and Scioto here locally, but also, you know, some of the fan favorites like Pebble Beach, Bethpage, I mean, you name it, right? You could scroll for days trying to find a course to play.
Multiple bays, as you mentioned, Scott, are available, but also a great private room for groups, parties, events, etc. I mean, we mentioned our station outing. You could even have your own little charity golf outing right there at the Fairway, no?
That's right. We have a bunch of groups that come in and they'll host their own scramble or, a best ball tournament. But and then we obviously have leagues as the indoor season kicks off this fall. But yeah, I mean, it's a great opportunity to get a group of friends out and, have a little competition while you're at it.
Scott, a new facility set to open really soon up in Lewis Center. Tell us about that. What will be similar and what will be different about it?
Yeah, similar-wise, we're bringing the same tech to bear, right? So we'll have the facility retrofitted with all TrackMan. It is different in that it is a semi-private model, right, where the Fairway Columbus, we are fully open to the public. Up in Lewis Center, we are offering 3 different tiers of membership available that will go month by month, right? You can have a social membership, which will get you 4 hours a month access if you want to just come and play around or train, all the way up to a full golf membership where you can play as much as you want. We are, I say semi-private because we are opening to the public on the weekends to kind of fill out the tee sheet, so to speak. So members will get preferential tee sheet access and can leverage the facility 24/7, but we are opening for set hours to the public. Should there be bays available, they're able to enjoy it as well. It's also right next door to Standardized Brewing up there. So as you're there in the facility, you'll be able to, order any drinks from your bay, and they'll get delivered directly to your bay from Standardized, which is a nice differentiator from some of the other unmanned 24/7 operations that are out there today. So, we're really getting excited to get this thing opened, which, we're wrapping up construction now. So hoping to have some, open houses and soft opening activities here in the upcoming weeks. And in early September, we'll be full go.
You mentioned the 24/7 aspect, Scott. Is that the biggest advantage to a membership?
The 24/7 access is absolutely the biggest advantage, right? I mean, if you want to get in prior to your kids waking up or going to work in the morning, if you want to get in there and get some practice in at 5 a.m., you can do that. So I'd definitely say that's the biggest advantage. But, we are offering other aspects like, access to leagues and club fittings. And, we're going to have complimentary refreshments for members there. So, really trying to provide that premier experience for members.
Scott Stender of the Fairway Columbus, our guest this morning, Tee to Green here on The Fan. And Scott, this is the time of year where, fall and winter leagues start to book up. Is there a typical cost per person, I guess, to get a league going, or does it depend maybe just on the number of people you're having in your league?
It largely depends on, how long your league is going to, occur, right? How many weeks you want the league to be. And then, if you have prizes that you want associated with it. I mean, we have leagues that come in and want weekly prizes where they'll do a closest to the pin every week. And some leagues will just have, a prize for the winner at the end. And, it's kind of up to the league to determine how they want it all to shake out in that regard. And then obviously, we charge for the time too. But, it's been fun because a lot of the leagues we've had to date have been groups that are bringing their outdoor league indoors for the season, or just groups of friends that are bringing, 12 to 16 guys where they take over a handful of bays on any given night for their own league. So that's really where, we've seen the most success and, the most interest from people versus trying to spin up like a public league and, a bunch of people getting together who don't know each other. While it works, it's not ideal for everyone in the league either. Most guys want to go out and compete against their friends.
All right, Scott, kind of off subject. We really noticed how TGL really took off last winter. Anybody who watched that first season saw how cool it was. I know they're even talking about adding a ladies team in next year. What all did you like about it from someone that has an indoor facility like you do? And I guess, did you notice any uptick in interest as far as what you do and offer as a result?
Yeah, I mean, I'm a huge fan of TGL, right? I have a background in technology, so kind of seeing the game of golf come together with technology, and entertainment aspect, right? Like it was very well done. And, I appreciated the fact that they listened to their viewers and kind of adjusted some things on the fly too, which I thought was, commendable, right? Because they want to provide the best experience and viewing experience as well. From our perspective, I think it's just the general growth of indoor golf, right? We're now seeing it's done professionally. And like you said, there's talks of, spinning up a women's, and I've even heard like influencers potentially going and getting involved in some sort of TGL type format, which is great. And just the general growth of indoor golf is awesome. I don't quote me on it, but I feel like I've heard that it's the second fastest growing sport in America right now, behind pickleball. So it's awesome to see the continued growth of the sport, especially indoors, and we hope to continue to grow with it.
I know it wouldn't be possible, but how many requests do you get to try to build one of those moving greens?
Oh man, they have the putt views, which can move, but nothing like what you see in TGL, right? And I'd love to play on that, which I think I mentioned to you last time. My strategic mind is already thinking about, like, how do you provide more of a TGL-like experience here? But, that's a venture for a different day.
All right, Scott Stender at the Fairway Columbus, thanks for your partnership again this season. Even though the Arlington location is awesome, we look forward to checking out the new place when you open up in Lewis Center in a couple of weeks, okay?
Awesome. I appreciate it, Skip.
All right, coming up, former Buckeye Neil Shipley officially secured his PGA Tour card earlier this week for next season. The former Buckeye is expected to play back here next month at the Nationwide Children's Championship. We'll hear from Shipley next as Tee to Green continues here on The Fan.
We're the highest rated sports radio station in America. There's no joke there. We just are. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Score a hole-in-one when you get a Visa Platinum or Visa with Rewards credit card from BMI Federal Credit Union, your CBUS Top Picks Best Credit Union for the past 7 years in a row. Enjoy credit card rates lower than the national average and special rates on balance transfers when you get a Visa Platinum or Visa with Rewards credit card. For more details, visit bmifcu.org/visa.
Matty Ice here for McDaniel GM Superstore in Marion. I recently brought a brand new Chevy Trax from McDaniel GM Superstore. It was by far the best car purchase I have ever made. And right now, you can get a 2025 Trax at McDaniel GM Superstore for as low as $20,995. They will treat you like family, just like they treated me like family. They're just a short drive north off Route 23 in Marion, or you can visit McDanielGMSuperstore.com. Chevrolet, together, let's drive.
This is This Date in Reds Baseball with team historian Greg Rhodes.
The Reds played before their biggest crowd ever on this August 16th back in 1961. 72,140 fans. The game was in Los Angeles in the Dodgers' temporary home in the Los Angeles Coliseum. The Coliseum had originally been built for the Olympics in 1932, and while the Dodgers were waiting for their new ballpark to open, they played the 1961 season in the Coliseum. The Dodgers and Reds were battling for a pennant in 1961, and so the Twilight doubleheader drew an enormous crowd. And most went home unhappy since the Reds swept the doubleheader, shutting out the Dodgers in both games. 72,000 fans see the Reds on this August 16th, 1961, this date in Reds baseball.
This Date in Reds Baseball is brought to you by the Cincinnati Reds Hall of Fame and Museum, presented by Dinsmore. Celebrating greatness, preserving history, providing inspiration.
Austin and Berm are back with a new daily podcast, the ultimate OSU Football Insiders. You know, it's refreshing to have some smart people working here from time to time.
The Beat with Austin and Berm on the 10 TV Plus app.
Subscribe today.
Here's 3 reasons to buy your Blue Jackets ticket plans for the 25-26 season. 1, pick your seat and pick your games. 2, plans start at just 11 games. 3, flexible payment plans. Act now. Visit bluejackets.com/tickets.
At Dick's Sporting Goods, we have always believed sport has the power to change lives. Community happens here. Change happens here. Sport happens here. Introducing the all-new Dick's House of Sport, bringing new experiences, new services, and unrivaled selection from the top brands to a new place Polaris can call home. Featuring a rock wall, a HitTrax multi-sport cage, and 3 golf hitting bays. Dick's House of Sport at Polaris Fashion Place. Grand opening celebration August 15th through August 17th.
Discover uncompromising quality at a reliable price with Giant Eagle in Market District. Look for signs throughout the store highlighting lower prices. Surround yourself with savings at Giant Eagle. Experience value like never before. Visit Giant Eagle today to see how easy it is to save.
Grown-ups, don't go back to school. Go forward through school into your future as an IT professional. Whether you're starting out, switching careers, or a veteran ready for change, My Computer Career can help you get into IT in just a few short months with no prior experience. So take the free career evaluation now at mycomputercareer.edu. Your rewarding career in IT awaits. That's mycomputercareer.edu. An Elite CompTIA certification partner. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including the VA benefits.
The trash talk, the bad trade requests, the horrible reaches on draft picks. It's fantasy football time, and the ESPN Bet Sportsbook at Hollywood Casino Columbus is giving you a chance to hold your fantasy draft in a fantasy location. On August 24th, host your fantasy draft party at the ESPN Bet Sportsbook, which will include a $100 dining credit, draft board, and swag. Visit 971thefan.com and sign up for your fantasy draft party package. Must be 21 years or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER for help.
It's not even 10 in the morning and you're already trying to flag down the beverage cart. Don't worry, we've all been there. This is Tee to Green with Skip Mossick on The Fan.
Welcome back, everybody. As always, thanks for tuning in. Hard to believe this is our second to last show of the season. Our final one will be next week at the OSU Scarlet Course, the home and the site of this year's Nationwide Children's Championship, part of the Korn Ferry Tour playoff event. If you missed any part of today's show, simply download the Tee to Green podcast. Just search Tee to Green wherever you find your podcasts and be sure to hit subscribe. Final couple of moments of this week's show. The PGA Tour officially announced this week that former Buckeye Neil Shipley has secured his PGA Tour card for next season. Shipley playing great again this week, 3 back of the lead in Boise, and even though he's set for 2026, Shipley's expected to play here at Scarlet next month at the Korn Ferry Playoffs Nationwide Children's Championship. Shipley saying earlier this week that for him playing that event here at Scarlet would give him a big leg up on everyone else.
It's a huge advantage, especially when it'll be the second week of 2 weeks for us. And, it's the end of a really long season. Everyone will probably be a little bit, maybe a little low on energy. But a lot of guys will be super stressed out about trying to learn the golf course, getting out there, making sure they play 18 holes before the Pro-Am and all that. And it'll be nice. I'll probably be able to take Monday off because I know the golf course and just kind of have a stress-free week in preparation from that Monday through Wednesday. Then I think too I've seen Scarlet in all types of conditions, so. If the golf course goes from really firm to really soft throughout the week, I know how the course is going to play through those conditions, or if it goes the other way where we start soft and get really firm come Sunday, I'm going to be aware of, how some of these tee shots react and, it's really important out there. I think there's a few holes that kind of dogleg and they get a little crazy sometimes. And, I've kind of seen it all out here. So, and I also just know where jail is, and I'm just not going to hit it there.
Some of us can't help but hitting it there. So cool to see Shipley's success continuing. Again, we'll be at Scarlet next week to talk more about next month's tournament. That'll put a wrap on this week's show. Fan Sports Saturday with Reeser and Dane comes your way next. Buckeye replay at 1, Ohio State and Texas in the Cotton Bowl from January. Jack Sawyer's Scoop and Score. Reds Brewers later tonight from Cincinnati. For Nate Puderbaugh, I'm Skip Mossick. As always, thank you for listening. Enjoy the golf this weekend and join us next Saturday for our season finale of Tee to Green right here on The Fan.
In church next Sunday to save me from those double bogey blues.
Buckeye games have been airing on WBNS since before you were born and before your parents were born and before Abraham Lincoln was born. Trust me, you're home of the Buckeyes, The Fan.
Oh, could this vintage store be any cuter?
Right? And the best part? They accept Discover.
Accept Discover? In a little place like this? I don't think so, Jennifer.
Oh, yeah, huh? Discover's accepted where I like to shop. Come on, baby, get with the times.
Right, so we shouldn't get the parachute pants?
These are making a comeback. I think.
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2025 Nielsen report.
Good morning, Doctor.
Doctor?
Hi, Doctor. Doctor?
Dr. Jackson's practice is growing.
What do you mean we're still short-staffed?
He needs a good patient doctor.
How do we not have enough doctors to doctor all these patients?
And he doesn't have the patience to sift through hundreds of resumes.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. When you sponsor a job on Indeed, it's easier for talented candidates to find it, which makes it easier for you to hire them. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
The Ohio Lottery's Powerball jackpot has soared to $565 million. That's $565 million. Imagine what you could do with a win that big. With drawings every Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday, Powerball jackpots grow faster, and they're bigger than ever. Play today. Check it. And don't forget to pick up a cash word scratch-off while you're at it to extend the fun. With tickets from $2 to $30, there's a cash word for everyone. Visit your favorite retailer today. Lottery players are subject to Ohio Laws and Commission regulations. Play responsibly.
Get Eco.
ECO.
Hey, Aaron, I've been thinking.
You came up with a new invention?
No, I've been pondering a problem.
Is it anything I can help you with?
I'm not sure.
Tell me.
I've been thinking about our scuba diving plumbers.
Get Eco.
ECO. They dive right in and fix the problem.
That's the problem.
You lost me.
The problem with being extremely good at something is that you make it look easy.
You're worried that people think plumbing is easy?
Well, our extremely very good plumbers sure make it look easy.
Get Eco.
ECO. Don't worry, Jerry. Sooner or later, most people try to fix their own plumbing problem.
I can testify to that.
Jerry, did you try to fix it yourself?
Yeah.
Don't give it another thought, buddy. I'll send somebody over right now.
Get Eco.
ECO.
You're a real friend, Aaron.
Eco scuba diving plumbers, genius electricians, and you can always trust our HVAC technicians.
GetEco.com.
My name is Andre Roberts, and I'm a defender for the Ohio State men's soccer team. When I was in 7th grade, I fractured my kneecap. That was my first experience with Orthopedic One. My physician came in the room and delivered the diagnosis, and with the confidence that he had, it reassured me that I would be okay. And they definitely did a good job of knowing as a soccer player when I needed confidence, when I needed to be pushed, and they got me right back to where I was before my injury. Orthopedic One understood what it means to be a soccer player.
I can't wait to meet her. Oh my gosh.
Put your hands together for new Dr. Pepper Blackberry and Dr. Pepper Blackberry Zero Sugar.
There she is! Woohoo! Yeah! It's full Dr. Pepper!
With sweet blackberry flavor!
Dr. Pepper Blackberry, I'm obsessed with your succulent taste. Please marry me!
No! Marry me! Marry me, or I'm gonna freak out!
Try new Dr. Pepper Blackberry.
It's a pepper thing! I'm here with my friend Bob Capace from Worthington Jewelers. Bob, I hear you guys are having a big sale.
You know it, Common Man. Can you believe it? We're celebrating our 25-year anniversary.
August 19th through the 23rd, you can save up to 60% off in-stock jewelry.
And we'll have surprises and giveaways in the store all week long.
25 years of Capace goodness. He's my guy. Remember the dates. August 19th through the 23rd. Worthington Jewelers on High Street in Worthington. WorthingtonJewelers.com.
Coheed and Cambria and Taking Back Sunday. Live in Columbus. Coheed and Cambria and Taking Back Sunday with special guest Foxing Kemba Live Outdoor Saturday, October 23rd. Get tickets now at AXS.com. Brought to you by Promo West Productions.
Hi, I'm Dr. John Runyon from Runyon Dental Group. Are you missing teeth or do you have uncomfortable dentures? Dental implants can not only transform your smile, they can restore your confidence and allow you to eat those foods you love that you've been missing. When I was in my early 30s, I was in a similar situation needing complex dental work and dental implants. I understand all the emotions that you're feeling because I've been the patient and I know that we can help you. Schedule a free consultation today at Runyon Dental